Welcome back here. If you're a Game of Thrones fan, even if you aren't really, you may have heard that much of the show was filmed in Northern Ireland, a beautiful place. The official studio tour takes fans behind the scenes and brings the series to life. Travelzoo senior editor Gabe Saglie is there live, giving us an exclusive look here this morning. Gabe Saglie, look, I know you have traveled to a lot of places. Yeah. I've never seen you wearing a cloak, though, quite like this, and surrounded by all these awesome...
But it works.
Yeah, all these costumes and everything. It does work. So tell us about where you're at here this morning.
All right, so you would have seen this on one of the members of the Night's Watch. Any costume, any prop in this particular location would have been on screen during the 8 seasons of Game of Thrones. So this is the world's only Game of Thrones studio tour. The show, over the course of 8 seasons, was filmed in large part right inside this 110,000 square foot studio, which is Linen Mill Studios here in Banbridge in Northern Ireland. Awesome. This is what you see when you're walking through. This is Winterfell, the Great Hall where Jon Snow would have been declared King of the North, for example. They filmed these iconic scenes in this location, and then when filming wrapped up, here's Dragonstone, the ancestral home of House Targaryen. When filming was done, they kept these sets intact. They've built this interactive, immersive experience all around it. It opened up just a couple of months ago, and so if you're a Game of Thrones fan from all over the world, you're now coming here to really sort of get to meet perhaps the White Walkers, the Wildlings, the Night King, the Giants, and perhaps, Eric, you might even meet one of the stars of the show.
Oh, yes,
himself.
You have a special guest, right?
That's right. So Ian McElhinney was Barristan the Bold. Yeah,
yes.
the Bold. He was the Lord Commander of the Kingsguard. It's got to feel so good to come back. Wow. I mean, season 1 shot 12 years ago, but here we're back reliving it all over again.
It's very special. I feel like I'm back where I was then, you know, I mean, because you come into the King's Landing set, which is the one that I would have worked on in particular when I was commander to Robert Baratheon. And it's just so special. You get in there and you think, oh my God, I'm back where I was. This is the real thing. This is, you know, everything is as I remember it. I mean, there's people costumed like I remember them, except they're dummies this time and not real people. But, you know, it's very special.
And what's been really cool, Eric, is because the studio tour is open right now and people are kind of walking around, they'll notice Ian and they're getting their selfies and their autographs, which is a very cool thing to see.
Awesome. What are some of your favorite parts of the tour? What are the highlights in your mind?
Well, some of the video we saw is great. You know, there's an Iron Throne that you can sit in. You're surrounded by green screens, which is great. It's one of those great moments you can take back with you when you're done. What's actually been cool for me, and Ian is a local, so he lives in Belfast, about 30 minutes from here. What's been really cool is to see the landscape and the countryside around this particular studio, which really becomes part of the experience if you're a Game of Thrones fan. Dark hedges, right? King's Road. And for someone like who grew up here, Ian, I mean, to see the landscape of Northern Ireland featured so prominently in the series has got to be so cool.
Yeah, we're very lucky. There's one of the doors. The dark hedges, a couple of trees fell down and they made 10 doors out of them, and they're dotted in various hostelries around the countryside. But the whole coastline of Northern Ireland is stunningly beautiful, and it's a beautiful landscape entirely. And if you come here to visit the studio, you must also get out and visit the area, because it truly is very, very stunning. And we're very lucky now that, you know, through Game of Thrones and things like that, we've really, as a country, been put on the map. Cool. And you can see just what we have to offer. You know?
Yeah. And Derek, as I mentioned, 30 minutes south of Belfast. I flew to Dublin, and it was about an hour 20 drive north, gorgeous drive. So super accessible. And then this is a self-guided tour. You can spend as many hours as you want, at least 2 to 3, I'd say. And kids 16 and under are free, so a great family thing to do as well.
Make sure you check that out if you're going to be heading to Northern Ireland. As you said, before you even get there, there's so many cool things to see, especially around the holidays. Okay, we got to run here, Gabe. Where can people learn more about what's happening there in Northern Ireland?
The deals you'll find at Travelzoo.com, and of course the Game of Thrones StudioTour.com website will allow you to get tickets, reserve your time out here, and give you all the behind-the-scenes information you're going to want, Eric.
All right, Gabe, appreciate it, and see if you can bring that cloak home with you. Thanks again for your time.
See you on the notice, yeah.